In our last video, we traced the deadly chain of events that began with the Pahalgam terrorist attack, moved through the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, and culminated in Operation Sindoor, a mission that didn't just eliminate threats but also ripped the mask off the geopolitical theater. Today, we turn the spotlight on the other side of that coin, not on those who turned away from us, but on those who stood steadfastly by our side. At the heart of this loyalty lies a weapon system that tilted the scale entirely in our favor. The BrahMos missile, capable of striking with surgical accuracy at supersonic speeds, ensured that Pakistan's key military assets were neutralized before they could even respond. And overhead, shielding our skies, the S-400 Triumph air defense system, one of the most advanced in the world, made sure that not a single enemy aircraft or missile could breach Indian airspace, taking down Pakistan airborne platforms as far as 300 kilometers away. This was not just a precision strike, it was a message, one that has the potential to bring even the United States to its knees in the geopolitical game. And that's where today's story begins, with the unshakable bond of India and Russia. Our relations with Russia go as far back as 1947, just months before India gained its independence. During the Cold War, India pursued its policy of non-alignment, but still the Soviet Union was a crucial trade partner for us, especially in key areas like economic cooperation for building our heavy industries, including steel plants in Bhilai and Bokaro, as well as its energy and mining sectors. Second, Russian military support towards India has been there for a very long period of time. Following the Sino-Indian War of 1962, the Soviet Union became India's primary source of military hardware, offering favorable terms and technology transfers. This partnership was particularly critical during the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War, where the Soviet Union provided crucial diplomatic and military support against a US and China-backed Pakistan. Today, the world witnessed India's superior defense capabilities during Operation Sindoor, in which even weapons developed in the United States and China failed to dent our surfaces. And a huge thanks to Russia for this one. The BrahMos missile, the world's first supersonic missile, was not merely a defense project. It was a joint venture born from the ambition of two nations. From the beginning, it was clear this was a different kind of deal. Named after two mighty rivers, India's Brahmaputra and Russia's Moskva, the missile's very identity symbolized a seamless fusion of engineering genius. While India provided the vision and a significant portion of the funding, Russia brought its advanced missile system, culminating in the creation of the world's fastest supersonic cruise missile. This dynamic allowed India to not just acquire a weapon but to co-create this technological marvel. On the other hand was the high-stakes acquisition of the S-400 Triumph air defense system from Russia. In 2017, the United States passed a law called the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. This legislation was designed to impose sanctions on countries that conducted significant transactions with Russia's defense and intelligence sectors. The goal was to punish Russia for its actions such as annexation of Crimea and alleged interference in US elections, while also deterring other nations from doing business with Moscow. For India, this new regulation created an immediate and high-stakes dilemma. The S-400 missile system was seen as a vital necessity for India's national security, especially in the face of aggression from its neighbors. However, acquiring it meant directly challenging the CAATSA law and risking severe US sanctions, which could have a disastrous impact on India's relationship with the US. Despite the looming threat of sanctions, India went ahead and signed the $5.43 billion deal for the S-400 system in 2018. This deal is a testament of India's strategic autonomy and its deep-seated confidence in the Russian partner. Coming to 2025, these risks have paid off their rewards exponentially. As Pakistan is in ruins, India demonstrated its defense supremacy through the entire conflict, all thanks to the state-of-the-art S-400 systems and the BrahMos missiles, which failed the US and China-made weapons that Pakistan was using, and we Indians will never ever forget that. This current tariff war is a testament to that, as President Donald Trump has imposed a 50% tariff on Indian goods entering the United States. This aggressive move is a direct result of India's continued procurement of discounted Russian crude oil. It is a moment of high-stakes drama and a powerful testament to our unshakable commitment to Russia and our own national interests. How will India tackle this situation? Hit subscribe to stay tuned as we cover the entire game plan in detail in our upcoming videos. Circling back, President Donald Trump's decision to impose a 50% tariff on Indian goods in retaliation for our continued purchase of Russian crude oil may be one of his biggest geopolitical blunders. This aggressive move, intended to punish Russia, has instead pushed a traditionally non-aligned India to take a bold public stand on the world stage, and for the first time to do so unequivocally for Russia. The diplomatic pressure is so immense that even rivals like India and China are now finding common ground. China, which is also a major buyer of Russian oil, has been hit with a 30% tariff from the US. This led them to extend a hand to India, with leaders of both nations speaking on similar terms in a united front against US coercion. This unexpected alignment born from shared economic pressure could be the surprising blessing in disguise for India. This situation powerfully underscores the paramount importance of the Indo-Russian relationship to India and how India will not compromise on its long-standing alliances and its national interests, even when facing significant economic pressure. Now coming to the next group of nations that has also supported us during the 3-day conflict, that is the European Union. During Operation Sindoor, the European Union demonstrated a unified position of solidarity with India, recognizing the nation's right to self-defense against cross-border terrorism. At this point, we all know that this conflict was more a high-stakes game of chess, as described by the Indian military leaders. This is exactly why India has actively pursued closer economic ties with the EU in the current tariff war by expediting the long-stalled talks of trade agreements between the two. How significant is this? For that, we'll have to go a little back. The history of the FTA, of Free Trade Agreement negotiations between India and the European Union, is a long and complex one, marked by periods of intense talks and long stalls. The initial phase began in 2007. Over the next 6 years, 15 rounds of talks were held, only to be stalled in 2013 due to significant differences in opinion and expectations. Key sticking points included the EU's demand for lower tariffs on products like cars, wine, and spirits, and a more robust intellectual property regime, while India sought a more liberalized visa rules for its professionals and easier market access for its exports, such as textiles and pharmaceuticals. 9 years after that, negotiations were formally resumed in June 2022, which is still ongoing. This new push for a trade deal was a result of a renewed strategic partnership between India and the EU. This time, the two sides decided to pursue 3 separate agreements in parallel: a free trade agreement, an investment protection agreement, and an agreement on geographical indications, to fast-track the process and make it easier to address specific issues in dedicated tracks. The EU has recognized the importance of a strong partnership with India in this uncertain world. This was highlighted when, due to their position in NATO, EU had to impose sanctions on Russia in response to its actions in Ukraine, creating a significant energy crisis as the bloc was heavily reliant on Russian crude oil and natural gas. This move had a two-pronged effect. Firstly, EU was previously highly dependent on Russia for its natural gas imports, so the global market risked a case of high oversupply, as an entire continent stopped buying Russian gas all of a sudden. On the other hand, Europe itself risked a natural gas crisis with no backup plan in case. You can learn more about it in one of our previous videos. The link is in the description below. In this context, India's role as a major refiner and exporter of petroleum products became critical. With Europe no longer purchasing Russian oil, Russia had a surplus and needed new buyers. India saw an opportunity and Russia began selling oil at big discounts to any willing consumers. India, wanting to save money on its energy bills, ramped up purchases of cheap Russian oil and quickly became one of Russia's biggest oil buyers. Indian refineries then processed this crude into refined products like diesel and jet fuel, which were subsequently exported to the EU. This triangular trade allowed the EU to bypass its own sanctions on Russian crude and secure a vital supply of refined fuels, helping to prevent a full-blown energy collapse. While India's trade was criticized by some, particularly in the US, it was seen by many as a legitimate business decision that also helped stabilize global oil prices. And what do we get in return for this? 50% tariffs. So, all in all, the EU's importance for India has grown, which was clearly visible when they didn't succumb to Trump's demands for imposing 100% tariffs on India. India's ties with Russia and the European Union go beyond symbolic gestures. This solidarity shapes the global economic chessboard at a time when tariffs and trade wars are redefining alliances. Yet, beneath these global alignments, the root of the Indus Water Treaty's suspension remains unresolved. The persisting tensions over Kashmir and the cross border terrorism. Until these are addressed meaningfully, any long term resolution will remain incomplete. And that brings us to the heart of the next story. In the next and the final part of this series, we'll unravel the entire journey of the Indus Water Treaty, how it was crafted, why it matters, and how its suspension tilts the balance between India and Pakistan. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe for the last and the most revealing part of this trilogy.